hello. So, I just went to Artists and Craftsmen. Ooh! Not there. That's the art store where I live currently, but will be leaving soon. I actually went to a different art store in my lovely hometown, and I'm always so pumped to come back here because the art supplies are so fucking cheap compared to the store in the town that I went to college, but now that college is done, I'm almost out. But now I'm back to cheap art supplies, even though this wasn't that cheap because I had to renew my membership for the art store. But once you renew the membership, everything, it's golden. You're coasting. But I thought it might be fun because I don't want to go crazy. I want to do things for the laughs, for the lulls. God, a car just pulled up next to me. This is so rough. God, that's a big car. But I thought it could be fun to make a little video talking about all the art supplies I've gotten and why. I'm always the kind of artist who loves to see what other art supplies people are buying because I hate doing independent research and I don't know what's good. Everything is just purely based off of like things other people have mentioned to me in class, or things that like people at the art store were like, have you tried this? You should try it. So I usually do that when I buy stuff, but I thought that could be helpful for others. But the first thing I got was a new watercolor set. I usually get opaque watercolors at this brand. I don't know any brands, or I know a handful, but the brand that I usually get watercolors of is it's got like flowers on it, and I always know it's good because I've seen my professors use it. But this, I don't know, whenever I see anything that has like blatantly European packaging on an art supply, like just something that screams like Denmark, I'm like, yes, that will be what I'm doing. Or Japanese. Anything that's like blatantly from Europe or Japan, I'm all over that. That is my bread and butter. Japanese ink and pens will consistently be the hill I die on. But this seemed trustworthy to me, and all of my watercolors are hitting pan. I don't know if that's just a makeup term, but if it's not, I'm making it also a watercoloring term. But I haven't been watercoloring because I'm just like slowly running out, and every time I go to the expensive store in my college town, I look at the price, it's like $18, and I'm like, oh my god, this I can't justify this. Says also the person who bought a $70 not watercolor set, a $70 gouache set once at the same store where the gouache tubes were about the size of my thumb, or like half the size of my thumb. Absolutely infuriating, but this looks good, and this is only like $11, so I'm excited to use that. Going back to makeup, getting new watercolors, it's like getting new makeup. I just want to like break it out and try it in the car. But what else? So I've got oh my god, did I accidentally, I could have put this back. That's fine. I wasn't paying attention when I was leaving. So I've got Jerry's, this is the store. It's Jerry's Artorama. Get a membership there if you're an artist or enjoy art in any way, shape, or form, like it as a hobby, don't want to spend too much on it, or if you're like me, constantly spending so much on it that you appreciate spending a little less. This, I've never tried this, but this is their like store brand gesso, which I was gonna get instead of this, the Liquitex gesso, but idiotically I forgot, and I'm just glad that I didn't also buy what I was going to buy. I was going to buy a golden pumice gel, because I had a friend in one of my classes who let me borrow some of their gel And I was like, oh, what a wonderful texture. But after seeing the price on this, which I didn't want to buy but wasn't paying attention because I had a bunch of shit in my hands, I was like, well, we'll see how the store-bought brand is going. But now I've got both. It's not bad. It's just I have to go on a plane. I don't know which. I might have to check this. Do they let you bring gesso in a plane? I don't know. It just doesn't feel like bomb making material to me. But the reason that I got so much gesso, or accidentally but also / on purpose, is because I also got Liquitex acrylic ink. I got like a starter kit. I've used Colored India ink. I've used watercolor, obviously, gouache, everything under the sun other than acrylic ink. And I have a friend also in one of my classes who she uses acrylic ink and gesso, I hope. That's what I thought, but sometimes I'll just be like, yes, I do remember her saying that. And then just go out and buy the thing and then realize it's like completely undoable. But she definitely did have acrylic ink, but she mixes acrylic ink with gesso to get a sort of thinner paint that costs less, just because you can get more bang for your buck with the acrylic ink. And when she said that to me, I thought it was absolutely ingenious. I am a chronic paint waster, which is bad because I've also, after a bad experience with Liquitex in a really big painting where it started oxidizing the like vermilion green color, I was like, I'm only gonna buy golden, but I'm a paint waster. And so much stuff on my palette does not see the light of day. I'm still kind of new to painting, honestly. It's like such a learning curve. Every day I feel like I learn something different. But because of that wonderful suggestion, I've really been wanting to try out some acrylic ink gesso stuff. So I'll do that when I go home. Because the only thing I have in my house with my parents is like dyeing oil paint that has like calcified and joined like the next generation of oil paints before it, and gouache, which I don't think I'm that good at. I think I was better at it in high school. Now I think with the way that I'm making work, it's just not making sense. But this, I've got faith. I've got faith in this. And then, last but not least, I always like to leave one canvas because I need to learn how to stretch canvases and I hate it and it needs to happen. But also, most of my paintings are on found wood and kind of garbage, which is easier to find in my college town in Wisconsin, but where I am here, it's surprisingly a more populated area. It's kind of harder to find like good garbage. So hopefully when I move back, I can have a moment perusing some good garbage spots. But this is just a birchwood panel, just because I love painting on wood. Painting on wood's better than painting on canvas. Plus I don't know how to stretch a canvas, so there's only so big I can go. But painting on wood with acrylic, I don't do oil, so I cannot say anything about oil, but painting on wood panel with acrylic is so great. If you ever feel like you are tussling with an imaginary god, pushing acrylic around on canvas, just like nothing's sinking in, everything's just sort of biting you, paint on wood. Wood wants to be painted on. Canvas doesn't. I don't know how we got to the point where we thought painting canvas was cool, but wood does not want to be painted on at all. So don't paint on, or not wood, canvas. Canvas does not want to be painted on at all. So paint wood. Wood's great. Love wood. I've done several wood paintings, both recycled and just wood paneling. Pray for me that I'm able to find more recycled wood, because if I can't, that'll be really depressing. I'll put here a piece I did on wood. This was a piece on recycled wood. Actually, that piece of wood is so cool. because it basically came the way that it was, and I just painted on it straight with India ink. And it just absorbed. It was just perfect. Honestly, it was like one of those paintings where the stars align in such a beautiful way that, you know, your love of art is renewed forever. But that one worked out really well, and just made me appreciate wood more. And I've done tons of recycled materials. I've even done, very mistakenly, a metal tabletop as a canvas. I've done cork boards as canvases. But wood, scrap wood, like I have a friend who would take stuff from construction sites, and then bring it to my bring it to his studio and then bring it to my studio, and take wood from like different scrap areas and things that people have thrown away, and they're always so good. The only downside is that you have to make sure it's not heavy, but with birchwood it's super lightweight. But so that is the final thing that I've gotten for today. I'm excited for many Jerry's Artorama trips to come. I'm in my mother's car, which is terrifying, because it's massive, absolutely terrible how big this car is, and I'm just driving around in tight little streets, and just kind of hair-raising little alleyways, just trying to squeeze this car past it. So I'm gonna go home, and maybe I'll put more in this? I don't know. This will be funny. If I just don't do anything with this, I think it'll be a funny little joke. But friends calling, so goodbye.